Wow. Hi. Welcome back. Or welcome for the first time, if that is your orientation to my videos. It's been so long since I've made one, and I'm so excited. I went to the hospital. Girl, don't even ask, because I'm going to tell you anyway. My Crohn's disease, I have a chronic illness known as Crohn's disease, not to brag. Was acting up for a little bit, so I had to put myself in the ER. Took a cute little visit to the ER. She's okay now. We're okay. And then it was my birthday. I just turned 34, and I went somewhere for my birthday. And we're back. We're here. We're doing it. We're doing it. And we've got the first burn of the season going on. All my fair girlies will understand. And we're going to get into it. Do you know what we have? I have to tell you what we have. I have to get my beverage. I have my beverage. I have my Zinnies because she's grievously addicted to nicotine. And I have my beautiful lippies that Jamie gave me because Jamie said, girl, let me snatch you up. Let me snatch you up real quick. I'm not going to have you out here using Vaseline on your lips. Okay, that's what she said in an indirect fashion. I have the Tarot of Astrology from my best friend for my birthday. And I have another new deck from somebody very special to me. Look how it glistens and gleams. Ew. So we're gonna touch cards today. We're gonna touch grass and we're gonna touch cards. I don't really have particularly any downloads. Usually when I decide to make a video on the day, things will just start flowing through. I don't particularly have anything that I'm coming in with. When this video finds you is when it's meant for you. But today, as we speak, it is the solstice. It is the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. It is the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. So congratulations, you made it. You made it to the second half of the year. And it's Cancer season. So it's going to be very nourishing, very nurturing, very mother vibrations. Very homey, very delicious, very comfy, cozy, which is really necessary right now because I don't know about you all, but the last couple of months have been like a squeeze. I spit. I'm so passionate about it. I spit at you. The last couple of months have been challenging. Not in all ways. In some ways it's been gorgeous and magical and beautiful and wonderful. But I feel like I don't know anyone in my close proximity who is not struggling in some way right now. Particularly financially. Because, We're living under late capitalism. And we're feeling it. So I think I'm going to pull some cards and see what's happening for you, because I know what's happening for me quite intimately. But all of the challenges that I'm going through, all of the challenges that my closest people are going through, there's very much a sense of like everything's exactly the way it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna chop that out a little bit. It's like it's supposed to happen because it's happening. First of all, that's the way that I approach life in general. Like, if God didn't want this certain set of circumstances that's happening right now to be happening, it wouldn't be happening. So I live by the knowing that I live in a friendly universe and that nothing is coming into my experience to torture me. It's not condemning me or damning me. Everything sent to challenge me is growing me in some way. And there's very much like a thread of peace through it all, where it's like everything's gonna work out, you know. It might take a trek through the desert where you're pretty sure most of the time that you're gonna die to get there. The curls are curling. Sometimes it might feel like, you know, an American Ninja Warrior obstacle course, and there's sharks and alligators beneath. But there is a very persistent sense of everything's gonna be fine. Even if the evidence... Okay, here's a point. I think that in a lot of ways right now, we are being initiated to feel rather than think in a lot of different ways right now. So what I was just about to say is like guided me right back here, where it's like, if you look at the evidence on paper of what's happening, oh my God, how am I going to pay my rent? You know, this financial thing, this circumstance, whatever. Like, if you look at it on a piece of paper, it might make your stomach start to cramp with fear. Because that is coming from the thinking mind. That is looking at situations by ways that they may have played out in the past. When I was 20, I had a hard time paying my bills, and I was struggling, and I was homeless, and your mind can take you to places where things look really dark in a way to kind of try to protect you, but that winds up really making things seem darker and bleaker than they actually are. Which is one of the reasons why I feel like we're being initiated out of the mind and into the body. Thinking versus feeling. So if in a lot of ways on paper it looks like your life is falling apart right now, I would encourage you to, as hard as it can be, because we are trained to try to think through situations. We're trained to try to think our way out of things and figure it all out in the mind. Sometimes, just as now, which is something that's been coming through in my own experience, if we can give ourselves enough distance from the situation, from the trigger, the anxiety, the situation, there's like stuff. Hold on. If we can give ourselves enough energetic distance from what's happening to even be able and have time and space to drop into the body about these things, I think that will really behoove us in the coming time. You know, we just came out of Gemini season. It's literally the first day of Cancer season. Gemini energy is all about the mind. So we've probably been spending the last month or so trying to really do everything we can to think through situations. But I think there's a real initiation around you could look at it as getting out of your own way. Getting out of God's way. Because there's going to be much less space and mental clarity for God's guidance to get through into your awareness when you're filling your mind with trying to put everything together with your little human self. You know, I talk on here a lot about my hair. I talk on here a lot about one of my favorite prayers is just, God, I need you. Or, God, just show me where to put my foot next. Because it releases you of the burden of trying to figure out everything, figure out every step, figure out how you're going to solve everything. It's like you don't have to do these things alone. And maybe that's part of the initiation as well. To understand that you are divinely supported. And to really embody that and lean into that. Instead of thinking perhaps as a result of being made to figure out too many things on your own as a kid or as a young adult, a teenager, early in life, you may have been forced by your family of origin to figure everything out on your own. Hi. I'm right there with you. So it makes you a very self-sufficient, independent adult, but we can really self-sufficient ourselves to death sometimes, Maybe I did have downloads after all. So don't independent yourself to death. Lean on your people. Tell people you're struggling. Tell your closest friends that you need help. Tell God that you need help. Tell God that you need guidance. Just please guide me. Show me where to put my feet next, and I'll go there. An initiation to trust that you will be carried, to fall into God's arms, to fall into the arms of people who love you, and trust that you will be carried. That you don't... to know that you don't have to do everything on your own. And this could be, another thing that I wanted to say is like all these struggles that we're facing, all these challenges have a very karmic vibe. And I know people get scared when that word comes up. But really, in this way that I intend it, at least, it's like our karma is just the work that we have to do in this lifetime. And there is a sense that all of these things that are coming up in order to cleanse and purify you so that you can live the life that you're destined to live. No challenge is happening in a vacuum right now. It's happening to help you release and heal through something that needs to be released and healed through. Maybe your attachment to financial stability as a marker of being worthy of being alive. You see, and I know money and financial stability and stability is important, but perhaps your relationship to that thing, whether it be finances, whatever is coming up for you, it's your orientation to the thing that is being cleansed and purified and healed and asked to be worked through at this time. You see? People just started cheering and screaming in the streets. That sounds like confirmation. It's the vibe of something in your looks falling apart, like your skin breaking out or getting new, something you're not happy with in your appearance that is sent not to torture you, but to heal your relationship with your looks, typically, not across the board, but typically men are taught and conditioned and acculturated to believe that finances and whatever, like all that stuff, equals being worthy of being alive. And women are trained and acculturated and programmed to believe that our looks equal being worthy of being alive. So it's like, what's coming up right now is meant to heal your orientation to these things, meant to show you that you are so much more than these things. I wrote a poem or something a little while ago, maybe some years ago, that was like, how dare I call myself pretty? When there is, I don't remember the rest of it right now, and I don't want to spend the time searching for it. But it was like, how dare I like lower myself to pretty when I am made of mountain ranges of magic. So this is all about, how dare I call myself gritty? The devil in this context is exactly about examining your relationship to the things that are happening in your life. Examining your relationship to the things that are falling apart, your orientation to these things. And the devil is also about addictions. And in a very broad, spiritual sense, we're all addicted to our minds. We're all addicted to, it's a very human thing to be way too focused on being able to carry everything ourselves, thinking ourselves out of the joy of experiencing life, thinking ourselves out of peace. And I think one of the points that I was aiming to make earlier is like, I think if you're able to get out of your head about certain things and feel into the situation rather than trying to think through it, you will see more clearly what's happening for you. Because none of this is happening against you, no matter how it may feel or seem. Cancer season's going to be good. Love these cards so much. Gold. Yes. Yeah. I think all of the solutions are going to start to pour in really quickly once you allow them to. So we're going to get into some Le Tarot Astrologique. Ah! What a beautiful birthday. Ooh, Scorpion. Goes really well with the devil. 10 of Scorpio. All right, let's see what it means. What can it mean? Single big bean. 10 of Scorpio. The head of a serpent joined to its tail thus completes the circle and constitutes the sacred Gnostic symbol of that which is without beginning and without end, and of which the high priests of the supreme initiations only speak with awe and in secret. It is the card of eloquence, of prudence, of cunning, and also of falsehood. It is the ending and the recommencement of some event or thing. It is eternity. It denotes health and physical resistance. Yeah, so we have the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. Scorpio energy is all about death and rebirth. What is being asked of you to allow to die in yourself? Your orientation to these things that are happening. Are you walking through these things telling yourself that you are damned and cursed and oh, here we go again, and I'm a loser, I'm this, I'm that, I don't have my stuff together, you know? Or are you meeting your challenges with grace, with God? I don't know if I said this already, but maybe part of the initiation that we're in, I might have said this already, but it's worth repeating. Maybe part of this initiation that we're in is being initiated into allowing ourselves to ask for help. Because I don't know where you're watching this from, but I know at least in my country, we are so individualized and so lacking. And I'm not saying there is no community or neighborliness or banding together in this country, because there really are. There really is a lot of beautiful, nourishing, lovely community, and it's happening more and more and more. But generally, in this country, we are so headphones in, eyes down, separate from each other, living separately. And just as it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to live a life. I don't care how old you are. We need people. So perhaps the initiation part of it that we're walking through is to learn when to ask for help. Learn when to ask for support. And that's what I got. I'm going to go be with my community and get help and support. I love you guys. I've missed you being in the hospital and dealing with all this health stuff and things. I'm not going to apologize for being away because I'm not a content creation machine. I am a human. But it's really good to be back. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.